This episode is brought to you by Netflix. This Monday night, witness the end of an era. John Cena takes center stage for his final appearance ever on Monday Night Raw. One last match, one unforgettable farewell. Come celebrate the legacy of a true WWE legend. Monday Night Raw, November 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, only on Netflix. Be there for the moment everyone will be talking about.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Carvana makes car selling fast and easy from start to finish. Enter your license plate or VIN and get a real offer in seconds, down to the penny. If you accept, Carvana will come pick up your car from your driveway. Or you can drop it off at one of our car vending machines. Either way, you get paid instantly. It's fast, transparent, and 100% online. Car selling that saves your time. That's Carvana.
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Hello, my name is Damon Friedman, co-founder and president of SOF Missions. As a 20-year veteran within Special Operations, I've gone through many challenges due to my military service and time in combat. We felt called to start SOF Missions to serve our fellow brothers and sisters in arms, focusing on suicide prevention and resiliency. Our mission at SOF Missions is to empower warriors to find purpose and be resilient. Since 2011, when we started the organization, almost 3 million men and women have deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. Unfortunately, the scars of war take a toll on their psychological, physical, social, and spiritual health. Many veterans feel a sense of hopelessness and a loss of purpose when they return to civilian life. They feel isolated and alone, unable to reconnect. And in the greatest of tragedies, over 20 veterans lose all hope and take their own lives. Our goal at SOF Missions is to provide veterans the tools and resources so that they don't become a statistic. We offer a unique approach to combating veteran suicide through a whole health, intradisciplinary model. The Be Resilient program is a 4-pillar methodology that addresses the areas of psychological, physical, social, and spiritual wellness. We provide care through 3 delivery methods: medical clinics, retreats, and educational training. Since we started back in 2011, we have been able to reach veterans in all 50 states and have served over 3,000 veterans through the Be Resilient program. Being resilient is a multifaceted and complex issue. We know that to find a lasting solution, we have to address the whole warrior. Many challenges cannot be solved by providing the treatments and modalities of just one component, but by tackling them all. Now, we've expanded our services to include law enforcement and first responders. Together, we can make a lasting impact in the lives of warriors across the nation. To learn more, visit our website at sofmissions.org.
For your post assignment, all units proceed to your post assignment.
All right. Welcome back.
MisFitNation. The MisFitNation show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the MisFitNation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the MisFitNation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the MisFitNation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the MisFitNation show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at @the_MisFitNation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
All right. Welcome back to the MisFitNation show in your Wednesday after dinner edition. This is our fourth show of our Veterans Week specials. Tonight's a real good one. It brings us back to 2003, 2004, 2005 of our lives, and a great leader we had the honor of serving with. Tonight we have no bad news, which is also a good thing. We also have an extra guest in the studio who you met in May. Mr. Bernie Summer will be on with us too tonight. But before we get going, let's read a little bit about our guest. Tonight, as we honor Veterans Week, the MisFitNation welcomes a soldier, scholar, and leader whose story defines courage and commitment. Colonel Buck Connor is a West Point graduate who spent more than 24 years in the United States Army, leading soldiers in Bosnia, commanding in Iraq, and shaping leaders across generations. His military career earned him the Purple Heart, Bronze Star with Valor, and the Legion of Merit. After service, he continued to lead, guiding innovations in defense technology, and mentoring others in leadership and life. This is a story of valor, legacy, and lifetime service. So please join me in welcoming Arthur Buck Connor to the MisFitNation show, along with Bernie Summer. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much. It's good to be here.
Great to have you both here tonight. Bernie, you're a return guest, and now you're helping me co-host tonight, so it's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. You better check him out because he was a little late signing in.
He was. And we had the light turned on. So.
Hey, look, I taught him 20 years ago what Connor time was. So
I was looking for the gel pens.
Right.
You just can't get right. You just can't get right after all these years.
How'd you remember for gel pens? That's
that's one of those PTSD things in his head.
Yeah, it is.
Gotta feed the line.
So here we are. We're 20 years removed from our time in Iraq. I just gave basically an elevator pitch speech about you, Buck. If you don't mind, tell the MisFitNation a little bit more about you, from as far back as you want to go to how we got to where we are today.
Well, I'll be quick. I graduated from West Point, commissioned in armor and cavalry. And I got to choose my first assignment, and I chose the 82nd Airborne Division, which questioned some people questioned me, said, why do you want to do that? It was M551 Sheridan's. I knew if I didn't do it, I'd never get a chance to go back to the 82nd. And sure enough, in Iraq, who we worked for the first 6 months, 82nd Airborne Division. I commanded a tank company in Fort Riley, Kansas, and I was picked by the Army to go to graduate school. I got my master's in history at Temple University in Philadelphia. And then I taught at West Point, taught history for 2 more years. And I did my Boy Scout school, Command General Staff College at Leavenworth. Ended up commanding a tank battalion at Fort Riley, and then commanding 1st Brigade of the Big Red One, and also at Fort Riley. And that took us to Iraq. I did 2 tours in between there. I was a UN military observer in Beirut, believe it or not, in '88. And then, of course, that kind of set me up for what we saw in Iraq. Bosnia was I commanded there, and it was interesting because Bosnia didn't feel like war. It felt like we were, I don't know. It was I don't know. It wasn't like war, though. But it did help me a lot, especially in my staff work, to prepare for Iraq. And of course, we were sent to Iraq after we'd been there for a year, been around for a year. And that whole time we were red cycling. We can talk about some of that stuff later. It's funny. But suddenly the war didn't go as well as it was. It wasn't just battles. It was a war. And the 1st Brigade deployed, and the rest we're going to talk about.
Definitely. I always talk about us being on the bench. We got into the fight, and when are we going to get in, Coach? When are we going to get in, Coach? And Bernie and me.
It's actually a good analogy. We were the last heavy brigade the United States Army had in the continental U.S.
It was, and then we went to Korea to do that TOCX over there.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Bernie working in the top there. We had to get the floor for you over there. the soft floor in the motor pool, and hanging out with Sergeant Major Jones. My God, Johnny Jones. He nearly killed us both over there. But we learned a lot. I mean, Sergeant Major Lawrence over there.
Lawrence.
The Department of the Army is trying to figure out things for us to do. Because the also the staff, I don't know if you went out to the NTC for 2 weeks.
Wow.
We got back from the NTC on the 24th of July. The next morning, a messenger knocked on our door at the headquarters, and it was our deployment orders. Ad Von would deploy not later than 4 August. Everyone else would close 28 August. That means we had 2 weeks to do it all.
Right.
But you guys were squared away, especially in the 3-shot, and got us out there and got the whole brigade moving.
It was definitely lightning fast. I remember flying out of Topeka. We put a base there and got on the C-5, the Ad Von, got to Iraq. It was straight into Baghdad, and drive to Ramadi with doors off the Humvees, going. MPs driving with us, acting like, "Oh, there's nothing going on in this country. Nothing's happening here. We don't know why everyone's here." As soon as we get onto Ramadi, we learned why we're there, and it was 100 miles an hour.
Actually, there wasn't much I could do. I had to put you guys out in 7 or 8 different serials, and there was always one knucklehead that took pot shots at you.
Oh yeah, I think Bernie was in the one. He hit the first IED for the brigade. Actually,
I think it was deployment to the camp.
Yeah,
he got his Purple Heart.
Yeah, so that was about it. Then we're working for the 82nd, and they're tired. They'd been there already for a long time. So we had a few clashes, but we finally got them working with us. And we kind of maintained the status quo. And then once the 82nd moved down in March and February of 2004, that's when 1st Marine Division came in. So think about this. You had a Marine Battalion, 2-4, working for an Army Brigade, which in turn was working for 1st Marine Division. Didn't get any more joint than that.
Was that the first time that ever happened?
I don't know if it was the first time. I didn't get a chance to do the research I wanted to. But I think in Vietnam there were several times when they were cross-attached. But I just thought it was pretty interesting how that worked. And we ended up with 2 battalions, 311, which was an artillery battalion that was dismounted. We used them like military police running routes. And we had, of course, 2-4 Marines.
Yep.
All told, the brigade had about 6,150 soldiers, 9 battalions.
Across a pretty hostile area while we were there. It grew more hostile as we were there. And then, of course, years to come, that region was hell on wheels after we were. We
had good leadership. I mean, we were fortunate. Jim Mattis, you couldn't argue with Mad Dog Mattis.
He was good.
He was good. He was a good man. And Tom Metz, who was the division commander at Riley, but he was over there as the 3 Corps commander. Tom Metz was a straight-up guy. And so they would always let me know what was going on because I had worked for him before. And that helped because we a few warning orders. But it really got intense once the Marines started coming in March, as you guys know. We started running multiple operations. And it was really tough, dude.
I remember when the first ones came in and they thought they could go out and just in the hearts and minds and kind of do things a little differently. And until they got punched in the face the first time, and that changed everything. Sergeant Major Booker, Colonel Kennedy, everything kind of the switch flipped. They realized that this is real. This is a fight.
Yeah, and those poor guys, they were stuck on Guam, I think. They were the last battalion in the Pacific.
Right.
So we shared that.
I think they were on a float, or on a Pacific float too.
Yeah.
All of us thought we were on a bench. I guess the Island of Misfit Toys, both the Big Red One and 2-4, we wound up being together and in a huge fight, a historic battles, especially April 6th to 11th there.
April 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, man. I think that those battles serve as what future combat's going to look like, and does look like. You have to be prepared to do some fighting in open terrain, aka with tanks, etc. But you also have to be able to clear 3- and 4-story apartment buildings with maybe 500 apartments in them without getting everybody killed. Tough duty.
A lot of We had
we were not trained for that, as you guys know. We had trained for the desert, the NTC, though, with tanks and brads going 30 miles an hour, not going 3 miles an hour, running into drainage ditches. Man, I was tall, man. I knew I was in trouble. I made sure I got my head down into that.
I tell people, I said, I had the tallest guy in the battlefield was in front of me, so I knew we were getting led by the tallest people. Sergeant Major Ronling wasn't short either. He was tall.
Ron Ronling, good man.
Both of you were tall, and your yellow gloves out there.
Yeah. Marines loved that. That's how they said that. That's how they tracked me.
I read that in the book. I just started laughing. I saw they tracked them that way. All right. That's awesome. And that, like we talked about in the green room about the Lance Corporals and the young PFCs, looking up, seeing a full-bird colonel out in front of them leading the battle or being at every battle site, that boosted their morale. And
you guys, especially in the police shop, I would walk in and vent, and so you got the chance to listen to me. And I believed, and maybe we can talk about this, but there was a cultural change in leadership in the Army. Vietnam, you had on any particular post, you'd have a brigade or a battalion or a division, but they would be mainly draftees in the lower ranks. And so the culture was different. These guys didn't live outside the gates. They didn't have housing on post. They, in fact, were just there to get training and deploy. Think about our brigade. We lived at Fort Riley. Your kids were my kids, were our neighbors, and we knew each other. So when we took casualties, it was especially tough. We knew them. You mentioned John Tipton a little bit ago. When John Tipton was killed, that really hit me hard. He was a good man. But the one that really broke my heart was the engineers. They worked so hard and, for very little recognition, but they deserved a lot more.
We lost Captain August, Sergeant Moodhart, First Sergeant Hoffman, and Sergeant Lindros in one truck. And I think we actually seen them earlier that day on Hapadilla. They went one way, we went a different, and that happened.
Matt August especially. He was only 26 years old, and he, I was reticent. He was one of the younger captains in that battalion, but he was good. So I said, "You got it, go. I'm not going to hold him back." And it just broke. It lingers with me today. Him and I went to West Point and visited his grave and sent it back to Dave Brinkley. The engineers. Can I talk about the engineers a little bit more?
Yes.
There's something else about first engineers. They came up, Dave Brinkley led them, and they came up with a couple of great ideas to really screw with the Iraqi funders. One was he said to get $2.50 worth of material, you create something that looks like a closed circuit camera.
I remember that.
We'll put them on poles, and we'll have snipers that overwatch them. And at night, when those Hajis would climb up the pole, snipers could kill them. And they're going after a $2.50 light, essentially.
Yep.
They did this several things in many other ways they contributed. And that was one of the best because they were not afraid to get out there and try something different.
I remember that.
I remember the prototype being brought into the top. And I looked at it weird. If this works, it's amazing.
Didn't we use NVG caps for the camera? Yep.
Yeah. I mean, one guy had a Coke bottle.
Yep.
And it really, he painted it. It looked really good. So that guy gets a 3-day pass, man.
Down Route Michigan.
Yeah, down Route Michigan. Stop in the fish hook and have lunch.
Up in the Fallujah clover leaves there.
But something else that Dave Brinkley, first engineer commander, and Mike Cabry, the Field Arts 15 FA commander, is they came up with the concept of the Lioness teams.
Yes.
The Lioness teams, that was simply a brilliant idea. Every time we had a firefight, as you guys know, the women and children would run helter-skelter everywhere. And a lot of times the men would do that because it would confuse us. And no American's going to shoot some 5-year-old little girl running around. So they would often exploit that. Well, that really kind of pissed me off. So we had to look for a way that we were going to be able to control the women without getting the women, and it sounds bad, control them, but we had to. They'd run across the fire and get hit. So they came up with the Lioness team concept, those two guys did. And they turned it over to Kate Pendry, who was the HHC commander. She was tougher than nails.
Yes.
I mean, she was like an all-American soccer player at West Point. I would not have messed with her. They turned it over to her, and then on October, I think it was October 11th, the first Linus team went out. Sure enough, shots ring out on Route Michigan. There's an IED, and kids are running everywhere. But with the Lioness teams, they're able to get the kids into one of the ditches. The moms followed. Everybody put their heads down. No one got killed. We got everybody put back. And then they got to talk to these wives. And, oh, yeah, my husband hides his guns underneath the mat out front. You know, they go out at midnight, and you're thinking, holy smokes, this has got to be misinformation. Nope. They didn't like their husbands. And we got lots of good info.
Yep.
That was brilliant. It was used by a lot of guys brigades after us, the concept.
Kind of evolved into the civil support teams later on in Afghanistan when they actually embedded the special operations teams. They just made a documentary about it called Guerrera. I had a couple of them on the show, and I said, you guys never look back to Team Lioness in 2003, 2004. Oh, this is more with the special ops. They're the same exact concept that you had big weapons. That's it.
Yeah. And no, we had the idea first, so.
It's a great tool, great asset for all of our guys on the ground.
Well, it is because, you know, you get a lot of latent intel that you wouldn't get normally. But also, it keeps those women and children off the battlefield. It just breaks your heart, you know, when one of them gets killed. And I was telling Kelly this a couple of nights ago. A couple of times I let them medevac little girls off the battlefield, and because they would have died otherwise. And Randy Radmer, you know, Doc Radmer I'd look at him and he'd say, "Well, yeah, sir, she's not going to make it unless medevac her." Fine. I'll take the hit. Let's go. Get them out of here. They did great work. They really did. It was surreal. Wasn't it surreal in a certain sense when you saw daily activities that looked normal?
Oh, yeah.
And yet at any given moment, you would have 3 or 4 battalions suddenly in a fight.
Yep.
Trying to control the chaos from one location like we were. It was fun. It was fun chaos, I guess, because we got so used to it. We were able to be the circuit master, circus master, the puppet master at that point, to know exactly what you wanted, your vision, and keep the 3 happy as well at the same time, and try to make all the pieces on the chessboard do the same.
What about the XO? How'd Elmer do?
He was always good when I woke him up in the middle of the night, tell him stuff before I got you.
he was awesome. He was awesome.
Look, Elmer Spates, man, he was a good man, commander of the battalion after us, but I think he ran the staff pretty well because he was kind of the hidden hand. You didn't really see him push too hard, but he got it done when he had to get it done. And I really appreciated that.
He was a very calm, confident leader, I think. He never really raised his voice, but you knew if you let him down in any way, shape, or form. But he was just a really confident leader.
Yeah, I made up for his lack of vociferous.
Yeah, I never
leadership style.
You know, I was an S3 at the battalion and the brigade, so before becoming a brigade commander, so I had been chewed out before many different times in all kinds of areas, so I was ready to go.
And that's what we needed. I mean, it was a wonderful melting pot of people in that staff command section. It really was.
I got to tell you, I love Ron Reiling. You know, Ron Reiling got the Silver Star. He saved my life. I would have been flat dead on the 6th of April. We were in that firefight on Route 10, and I was taking a couple of shots he got. He was too far away, and I knew it, but I wanted to shoot the shotgun anyway. And I did that, and the son of a gun door opens about 20 meters from us. Guy's got an AK. I'm wide open. Riley puts his rifle up on my shoulder. Bang, bang, 2 rounds. Guy's dead. Nice. Great move by him. Of course, I couldn't hear for 2 days, but That's better than being dead for 2 days.
True.
Shot right here on me that day, and I didn't hear the rest of that day. I was just yelling I couldn't hear the radio at all. What they say? What they say?
My poor driver, man, oh man. I tell my wife I miss my 8 and miss my driver and miss the S3. They don't need to be here in my house, so give me a cup of coffee, give me the newspaper, you know the routine.
Provide some entertainment.
Yeah.
Brief you on the day's activities, give you the battle update brief every day.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys got pretty funny towards the end. You know,
Oh my, the things you don't know.
Well, this is a good form for it there.
Night shift was interesting. I wasn't on night shift, but I heard all the stories. You know, they had boxing
I
matches.
haven't heard all the stories. Tell me some of these night shift stories.
Did you know they had boxing matches in the talk?
No.
Oh yeah. You weren't invited.
Get out.
It was
Well,
usually
you guys,
someone versus
send me an email with what they did. That's hilarious. I love
Rich,
it.
he'll love that.
Yes.
There's nothing like a good old ice cream eating contest in the middle of the desert. That's a good one.
Ice cream eating. Yeah.
Milk chugging contest. Sergeant Martin won that one, but
I heard about that actually. Didn't he puke afterwards?
Oh, it was a puke.
It was the other side came out. He was sitting on a bucket.
I think this is all in the middle of combat.
Yes,
you know?
while we're still controlling the battle space at the time.
Sergeant Martin's eyes are probably fixed, dilated as he's taking a crap all over himself.
Oh yeah,
he won.
He won. He wasn't going to lose. He said.
Oh, you guys are killing me. That's fun. See, I didn't know that.
Oh, there was all kinds of little shenanigans in the talk. They always handled their business though.
Yeah.
PFC Clouds in the chat. He said Corporal Lawson was your driver. And,
Bobby Lawson, good man.
He said he'd love to tell you firsthand some of the things from night shift, from Cloud's point of view.
Sure.
Hey, Rich, one thing you got to tell him about in that email you sent him about the hot sauce.
Oh, yes.
And that lieutenant?
Captain.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, my brother had sent this hot sauce. I think it was like one of those kick-ass hot sauce things.
Oh.
I forget the captain's name. You know his name, right, Bernie?
Oh, I can't think of it.
But
What, he worked in the talk?
Yes.
He was one of your L&Os at the division, wasn't he?
Oh,
I think so.
Yeah. He was, he got put out. He got sent away.
He's like, he did anything that's hot. I said, okay. And he took the hot sauce and just poured it all over his burger like it was ketchup.
Oh.
He took a bite and he turned bright red, started sweating. His whole body was sweating. And he just took like a bunch of pudding, those little puddings we would get. He just shoved it in his mouth. He had to put it all out. We were all just laughing at him.
Oh, my God. That's funny.
Yeah, David Cloud said the hot sauce was 357 sauce and Captain Daly.
Daily.
Yeah.
I pass.
Yeah, we laughed.
He just covered that. He just covered his food with that hot sauce. And I was like, all right there, guy. Knock yourself out.
I put like one little pin drop on mine, so I knew it would be bad. This is great. Bad idea. And of course, we had chicken. We had Steve the chicken that would work the Blue Forest tractor for us until you told us to get rid of the chicken. Get the chicken out of my top.
Steve the chicken.
On the top.
Steve the chicken.
Yep.
Steve the chicken.
Steve, that was his name, Steve.
Steve, yeah. Where'd you guys get him?
I think he just wound up on
He showed up.
Yeah, he showed on Bob Ramadi there, and then he became my buddy. Michael's brought him to the top.
What happened to him?
Caught on fire.
He died. He became dinner.
He was in the dump when they was burning it, and he didn't get out fast enough.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We had the pool in the building behind the talk that someone sent to us. We had some downtime too. It wasn't always crazy, but it was enough to. We were on all the time though.
Rich,
I want to cover one topic if I could, please. If it's all right. It's PTSD.
Yes.
I don't know about you guys. Do you guys have bouts of PTSD? I do. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Oh,
my wife will tell you I wake up trying to fight somebody about every other night.
Yeah.
But it's real. Tell your boys that tell the guys that if they need to, they just get a hold of VA. They're good at dealing with it, and they can help you through the tough spots. I mean, I have certain things like John Tipton, we talked about Matt August, that are triggers for me for the PTSD. And it's never going to go away. It can be softened. You have to learn to live with it, and you can't be ashamed of it. And just go see the VA. You'll be fine.
Absolutely.
Be afraid to ask for help. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest step for most of our brothers and sisters. They're afraid to say something's wrong.
Yeah, and we had about 3,600 of us that came from Fort Riley, and then another 400 from other. We had over 6,000 soldiers in the brigade at the end. So anyway,
and just knowing the things that even if you didn't leave the wire, you had stuff come on base, or you've seen what happened to others off base.
Well, you guys knew about that because I did a few rampages in the TOC when we took mortar rounds.
Oh yes,
I was just going to hit on that.
What?
I was just going to hit on it. I didn't know what a counterfire was, but you kicked us all out, and the officers got trained up on counterfire pretty quick that one day.
Yeah, I said, your captains, your majors, and your lieutenant colonels, you're not leaving this place until we have a 3-minute counter battery fire. 3 minutes. And I said, you should be able to do it better than that because this is what you've done your whole lives. Took 2 days. It was Saturday, Sunday, I think.
I think it was, yes.
And Sunday, you guys all repopulated the TOC. They were very tired colonels and majors. But we had the best damn counterfire in the theater.
Boy, we did. We could smoke them on counterfire. And like I say, I didn't even know what it was. Everyone's like, counterfire, is that area clear? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. We got trained up.
We were averaging about 1:40 seconds. Haji drop a mortar round, and he dropped 4 or 5 in a row. By the time he dropped his 5th mortar round, our first 155 round was hitting him right in the ass.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was a testament to how hard your guys worked and your officers.
Well, it goes back to the leadership, and it was just an awesome melting pot of different MOSs. And hey, I don't know this, but you know this, and we covered for each other and trained each other up on different aspects of what we had to do, and it worked well.
Yeah, you guys did. You really did.
Raven Ellenode used to sit next to us in the night shift. He was awesome. Air Force guys were always on, even though that they were our calendar because every 4 months they would switch out. So we knew by the third ones we were almost close to going home. So once we got used to them and they'd leave, those guys were always trained up. Every one of them were in our artillery dudes. So you couldn't fight what we had in there. Right.
I became a believer in JDAMs.
Yes.
Well,
they are nice.
That'll get your attention.
Oh, yes, they will.
It sets precedence on the battlefield, yes.
You're taking sniper fire and you're there for an hour or so, it's worth a 155 or a 2,000-pound JDAM.
Yes. I think one time we had to drop 2. Missed on the first round, just off to the right of the building.
That's right. If I had to fire a second one.
Yeah.
I remember that. Speaking of counterfires, what was the huggy guy?
Sergeant First Class. I don't know what you're talking about.
Middleton?
Yeah.
Middleton.
Littleton from FA. Yeah.
You remember the field artillery guy who gave everybody hugs?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was killed in a car crash about a year ago.
No kidding.
Yeah. Great guy. He was a contractor on Fort Riley.
You guys had the 1-5 FA team was really good. Mike Cavalry is a good man.
They were.
Gave us some of his best FOs to come sit up in the talk with us, and really they were awesome. Every one of them, I think, even from their lowest ranking dude up, were all awesome what they did. And took them out on attack. They were great. And then when we got the Anglico dudes to come with us, they just fit right in, the Anglico guys.
Yeah, the Anglico guys, we fought a pitched battle to get our own, and we finally did.
It was definitely the hardest, toughest, yet greatest assignment duty I've ever had. I mean, something that I just couldn't be prouder of that year I did, and to be a part of that team. That was an awesome year.
Amen. Be proud of the big red one.
Year, but it was a good year.
Yeah, be proud of wearing the big red one. I don't hesitate to tell everybody.
Oh my, yes.
Talking about the first engineers right in front of me in my studio is my plaque. First engineer when I was in decomp room. That's right in front of me there. And then my hallway is the big red one flag. It all leads right to my studio, so it's amazing.
I kind of bleed Brigade 1. I really do. I love it. It was a good time.
Got a question from Jake Holland. He's one of my Tuesday crew guys. He wants to know what time frame you were in Bosnia. He was with Ready First in '96.
Yeah, I commanded 112 Cav in Bosnia. And let's see, when were we there? Where did I go from where? From Hood. Yeah, that's right. I was at Hood when we went to Bosnia. So when was it? 97? Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that does. Anyway, it was S4 1 point or 1 alpha was my battalion. That was interesting too because we had prepped for war, and really what it was babysitting to a large extent, getting the police chief to tell the mayor of Birchko, stay off the streets after midnight or whatever it was. It truly was teaching them how to get along to a large extent.
Yeah.
Got another question from the audience just came in. This is from Jake said Roger. I don't know if he was with you or not, but Roger said it means. This one's from Amber GI 54, American GI 54, I guess it is. Colonel Connor, after decades of leadership in combat and command, what does leadership mean to you today?
Yeah, it's funny because I used it as when I transitioned to civilian life. My philosophy on leadership, I called it leadership by walking around. I hope one of you guys heard that. I truly believe that as a leader, you have to share the hardships of your troopers, your people. You have to have a clear vision and articulate to every person, from private all the way up to whoever your leaders are. They have to articulate that. But leadership by walking around. Some people looked at me askance when I led my PSD into a couple of big ass firefights. But we did really well. That's because I shared the hardships of my troopers. Wouldn't ask them to do anything I wouldn't do myself. And I found out how they were doing by simply walking around. You want to know how your company's doing or how your battalion or outfit's doing? Get up off your butt, go walk around for 30 minutes, talk to people, say, how's it going? Find the lowest ranking or lowest paid guy. Say, what's up with you? What are you doing? And you're going to be surprised what you'd find out. And it would all lead to a better outfit.
Yeah, that translates right into the civilian world too. If you walk around your corporate or if you're in the factory, if you actually get down there with them, you can feel what the heartbeat is. You know where the problem is, where you're stuck at, and maybe you can show them how to get out of that stuck situation, or show them that you know how to do it, and they can trust you more when you do it.
I found that working with software engineers, though, sometimes that didn't help. You had to carry a bat and beat them to get what you needed. And time meant nothing to them. It's quarter of midnight. Oh, I'll be done soon. Soon could be years. So I had to start be a little more hands-on.
Did you rip his door off too?
No, yeah, I should have. No, it's funny because what motivates, especially Gen X, is very different than what motivated me. I wanted to make sure I did a good job. And they wanted to do great jobs also, but they also want to know why they're doing it, how it's going to affect the things around them, and what the time frame is. Frankly, I was just happy to be accepted into West Point, and I had a job when I graduated for $800 a month. I make more money mowing my front lawn now than that.
Rich and I have talked frequently about how when we joined the military, the only thing we wanted was a job.
A job.
We wanted a job and a career. That's all we wanted. And we were willing to do anything, work-wise, anything. We just wanted that job. Yeah,
and of course, the Army our son now is 40. He's going to be 42, sweetheart. Is that right? 43. He's a sergeant first class. 11 Bravo. Did very well and has done well. And they've been in Germany for 4 years, and they're coming home. and he's right at the 20-year mark, and so he's got to make a choice. You know, if he wants to be a first sergeant, he's going to stay on, and you guys know how that works.
Oh yeah.
But I left it up to him. Told him, you know, he's got to trust his heart and figure out what's right and go do it. I'm already proud of him. He's been in Afghanistan twice. I never did go to Afghanistan. Any of you guys go?
I went twice. I got wounded on my second tour.
Yeah, Rich, I think I knew that. Yeah, I remember talking to somebody. It might have been Riley who's telling me that.
Maybe, yeah. I went with 101st the first time. As soon as I came back I was stationed in Korea, got back here before Campbell. 60 days later, I was on the ground with a new platoon, people I'd never seen before in Afghanistan.
Oh, yeah. You're supposed to get 6 months, and now you get 6 hours.
Yes. They told me I couldn't go to Germany from Korea because I would deploy and my family wouldn't know anybody. But I got to Fort Campbell, and it was the same thing. My family didn't know anybody, but I was gone anyway.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. We talk about, again, a culture.
Right.
In Vietnam, you know, a guy would come from Sacramento and join his unit someplace, not know anybody. And then when he was done and got out of the Army and went back home, whatever, again, there are no posts. He's not living on post. He doesn't have a wife and kids on post that know what's going on. That was the case for us. When we took a casualty, it went back to Fort Riley, Kansas, not Dubuque, Iowa. And that's why it was so hard on families and soldiers, the guys. Nothing's worse than being left behind, right? We thought it was going to happen to us. And God willing, the creek didn't rise, and we got our deployment orders. Did very well. Got that Valorous unit citation is a big deal that the 1st Brigade got. Oldest brigade in the U.S. Army, I knew it. I was reminded every time by one of the CGs of the Big Red One when they came to see us. And you guys didn't let us down, and it was a very proud moment for all of us when we redeployed.
Yes. Cloud just said the Army saved his life. If he had to go to war again, he'd want to do it with 1st Brigade, 1st ID.
Amen.
There you go, Cloud. Duty first. And Cloud,
I say that too. You know, it's funny. I said that when we were in church on Sunday. It was Wear Your Medals Day is what I called it. As we were celebrating Veterans Day. And I'd shake the hands of these guys and say, duty first, and every now and then you get somebody who goes, yep, we recognize that.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting to see what the Army looks like here over the next 10 years. A lot of change.
It is.
I get to see it daily at my job, and watching 101st go to the mobile combat teams. It's a big transformation. Seeing all the technology that's involved now compared to what we had.
What about the helicopters? Are they going to keep the choppers or what?
They're cutting down a bunch of them, but they're still going to use them. They're shrinking the numbers, I believe.
Hey, fellas, I got to tell you something about my wife that's special to me that occurred after we returned from the war. We'd been married about 6 years, 5 years, and I said, you know, I can't have a wife that's a leg. I got to have an airborne qualified wife. I mean, I had 50 jumps. I told her all these stories. I don't think she believed a word I said. I frankly wouldn't have believed it myself. We went out to Vegas, and we were having a good time, and I got us tickets. We put on parachutes and jumped at 12,500 feet. She was perfect, like no hesitation out the door. We landed and said that was enough. I never want to jump again.
She got her wings.
Oh, yeah, she's got her wings. It was great.
That's awesome.
Got another question from the audience. This is from Hungry Man Tater. How did your experience in Bosnia and Iraq shape your perspective on modern warfare and soldier resilience? Thank you, Hungry Tater.
Yeah, well, modern warfare is exactly what we did 20 years ago in Iraq. The combination of tanks, we had tanks and Bradleys, but we weren't doing running gun battles at 50 miles an hour. The tanks were very carefully supporting each of the soldiers. And if this didn't show you that every man jack of us had to be an 11 Bravo, you were wrong. Everybody's an infantryman. That includes the women. There's no difference. That's the way it should be taught. That's the way it's going to be, and it's going to be ruthless.
It definitely will be. I've seen the integration of the infantry women And I've seen some of them that are just way better at what they do, and they are vicious on the battlefield.
Well,
and
Captain Kate Pendry, I think, proved it with the Lioness teams.
Oh, yes.
She went out there and into the heart of combat many times, and she did very well. I was proud of her.
That whole team was amazing. I tried to catch up with them to get them on the show, but it's hard to link in with them right now. I will get them.
I might be, if I can, I'll try to help you out, get a hold of Brinkley and see what I can help you on.
Awesome. Thank you. Or even get him on here. That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah, good. He'd be a good guy to talk to. That battalion did so many different things.
Yes.
All bright guys, too.
We got another question coming in from Dan, I think it's I can read it bigger. How did you balance the intellectual side of the strategy with the emotional burden of command?
Command is going to take a big chunk out of you at any level. Squad, platoon, company, division, it's going to take it out of you. So you know that's going to occur. But emotionally, you have to be careful you don't get wedded to a plan that's not good. I mean, if Master Sergeant Suma came up to me and said, "Hey, sir, this ain't going to work. And this is why I can't get class 4 there," or whatever it is. Then you've got to learn how to listen. And my wife will tell you all the time, sometimes I just got to shut my damn mouth. And as you guys know, it's the same thing in the dock. Sometimes you just have to listen. What's the guy trying to tell you? And then you got to learn to make that work and speak a common language. It's easier. It's a lot harder to do than it sounds.
Definitely.
And you have to build camaraderie, fellas. And, that's something that you guys know all about. We know all about it. I mean, we were going to put our lives on the line for each other. That's why I get so emotional. I'm almost afraid to say it, like with the guys that were killed that you knew. We had 63 killed in action. And, you knew the faces. Well, I remember getting out of my Humvee and running over to where Jim Hoffman, First Sergeant Jim Hoffman, Matt August, and Sergeant Travis Mutart were. The Humvee was mangled, and I picked up Hoffman one side to get him on the medevac chopper, and they were dead. And that just hit me like a sledgehammer. I became a little vicious after that, as you guys may remember. We were working really hard to break up those Hezbollah gangs and to keep the Iraqis from bringing in IEDs. Sure enough, they got me twice.
That work made them come after you. They knew you were doing the work and putting the First Brigade out there to stop them. They had to stop. They thought if they stopped you, probably that strategy was to cut the head off the snake.
Well, I think it was the S3 told me, the S2 COL teaming, they picked up that I had a bounty on my head, and so did the division commander. I said, "Oh, Matt, this is great. What a great story. How much did Matt have?" I said, "Oh, they were willing to pay $100,000. Wait, how much did I have? 10,000. 10,000 wouldn't even buy you a new Kia. I mean, come on, man. I'm worth more than that." And that team looked at me and said, "Sir, I don't think so."
Should have had us make up signs.
To them, that was a lot of money, though.
Jim Mattis was bulletproof, fellas. I mean, several firefights, he was there. I'd go see him afterwards. He's crisply starched, boots are polished. Guys around him, they got bullet holes in them. Their uniforms are on fire. And he's not been touched. He was a great combat leader. He really was.
Definitely was an amazing leader. I ran into him. He was going through his confirmation hearings up on the hill. I was going through security, and he was getting shuttled through there. I yelled to him, and he looked back, and he said, "Hey, Devil X-ray."
Devil X-ray.
Really?
Yeah.
People, when I tell them I used to brief General Mathis at the battle desk, they're like, "You did what?" They just, country boy here used to talk to General Mathis quite often.
Yeah, that's good. So, again, that's something you never get a chance to do in the civilian world.
No.
Unless you were some crazy fan of somebody run out of the stands and get cut down by
my security guard.
Don't ignore him. He's he's
It's his PTSD.
PTSD.
He's a fanboy.
Well, again, like I said, I just don't want to wake up, fighting my wife in bed. That can be a bad thing, and so
Yeah.
I think I've been able to handle it pretty well. But I know guys that have trouble with it, so like I said, please don't hesitate to talk to the VA. They're really good people there.
Good.
Don't like the first doctor you see at the VA. Ask to see another one. They will let you see another one. Not every doctor is perfect for everybody. It's like getting your hair cut.
That's right.
That treats you right and you're comfortable. Go to the person that you're comfortable with. You'll
And
find
Special
out.
Ed Brigade, we saw such heavy combat at times that it wouldn't be normal if you didn't have some.
Right. So we talk about that on the show a lot. PTSD and not giving into the darkness, not leaving us because.
So as you guys know, I always carried my 3x5 cards. I had some things I wanted to cover. Let me make sure.
All right.
Yeah, our task organization. When we got all those Marines in March of 2004, how'd you guys handle that in the talk? And what challenges did you guys see? And I'll try to tell you what I thought I saw. You guys kept a lot from me. Look, I owe you a great deal for that. You guys did a lot of the hard work at midnight to 6.
I think I think we had Captain Ayers on with us at night, Charles Ayers, guns, and we would just basically rehearse the names of each of the units because we got so used to 82nd units and to the Hurricanes from Miami, the 1124, I believe they were.
I'm going to go back to them also, and we'll talk about them.
And we got used to all their call signs, and now the Marines came in. We had Joker, Porcupine, I forget the other two, and then Bastard, of course, and then 311.
The Marines, they didn't have fixed call signs like we had.
No, they made them up as they went, I believe.
Yeah, I know. That's like Porcupine. It's like, what, you've been reading the first grade reader or something?
And he actually talks about it in Unremitting, how he named their Colonel Kennedy, how he came up with the names. I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting.
I think our rehearsal of their names, and that showed them that we respected them just by knowing their names, knowing their each call sign. It gave us more clout in Devil X-Ray because we aired. And then
I told Elmer Spates, I said, the talk is always the place everybody wants to go. And the guys have got to know everyone that walks in. They got to know from the lowest private all the way up through the commanding general. If they were a Marine coming into that talk to get briefed or see somebody, they had to be outstanding. And you guys really did it good. I was very proud of you. I had no problems just bringing you guys out for any of the briefs. As you know, that means I made you do them. But
we're always ready.
I think when they first got there was a little difficulty in the Marine-Army relationship, but I definitely know after they did some battles together, and the Marines would do those satellite patrols, and they were just getting knocked. And we committed the QRF, and we loaded the QRF up with bottles of water. The Marines were dropping out of dehydration. They took a lot of bullets, but didn't take no water. And when we committed those tanks to their satellite patrols, I think we won the day with them. That really set the tone.
You're right. That was again the difference between how the Army and the Marine Corps thought when it came to patrolling. I said platoons. The Marines would put 5 or 6 guys.
Yep.
They would knock on doors, say, "Hey, we're your local Marines." I said, "No, stop that. We're here to get. There are 2 or 3 or 4 different enemy factions we have to root out. Be nice, be polite, but we're not, the hostess team." And but by putting more guys in there, also, I think you made the platoons less vulnerable. 4 to 6 man patrol, very vulnerable. If you have 1 or 2 men hit, you take the other 4 guys just to get them out, and then you are committing the QRF, and that is a dangerous exercise. So, General Madison and I had a few talks, and I'm sorry. He called me over to his place to talk, and we talked about this. He was decent enough to say, "You're right. That's how you guys are trained. That's okay."
And what we did definitely worked. Like the story I told you, that was just a Lance Corporal I talked to in the mall, and he thought the world of Devil X-Ray.
Yeah, it's good. You guys were good guidance.
So it worked for them too.
Yeah, Lance Corporal, that's a PFC in the Army, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
They are leading patrols.
And we're leading a team out there where our PFCs can barely tie their shoes.
All right. Well, it sounds like you reprobates are doing fine.
Yeah, good.
Prison terms have all been commuted.
Yes. Yeah, we're doing good.
I worked at a prison.
Mine too.
I worked at a prison when I got out. They let me out every day.
Now, see, I believe that. I can see you walking around with a little billy club just smacking it in your hand, just like in the top.
I was a counselor.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Yes, that's what I said when he told me too. I said, counseling.
That poor guy couldn't drink either.
And I used to sit there at my desk and think, man, if anybody saw me doing this, they would make so much fun of me.
You ain't kidding, brother. That would be ripe for a new joke every single day.
I walked in off the street, and in 2 years they offered me to be the director, so I did well.
Wow.
Yeah, and that guy had a PhD when he left.
Wow.
I was good because I did what you said. You go around, you talk to people, you get out there, you meet people, and I did that leadership thing, and they saw that, and they wanted me to be the director.
Well, I appreciate the time, guys. It's really been good talking to you.
Great catching up and sharing stories. And
don't be a stranger. You got my email. Give me a shout. Let me know what's going on. I live in the North Georgia woods, literally. We live on top of a mountain. We got a big house, so plenty of bedrooms. Come on by.
All right.
Golf too.
Say hi to Doc Radmer for us.
Hell yeah.
I will. He's a good man.
Yes.
He's from my area. He's from the St. Joe area, so tell him I said hi.
We will.
I'll be flying just over your mountain on Friday, going to see Georgia play Texas in Athens.
Ooh, yeah, wow. Got young Manning trying to prove himself with Texas.
Yes. Arch. That's why I picked that game this year, just to see him play before he goes pro.
I don't know about Georgia. We'll see if they play well.
If they don't, they always start slow. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Cloud just said to remind you, you owe us a beer.
Yeah, that's true. Don't forget Army Navy in December.
That's right. Yes. The uniforms got released today. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, and so send me an email, send up a flare, do something. Let me know how you guys are doing, okay?
Sure. We'll do that.
It's good to see you.
Great to see
It's
you.
good to see you guys, too. It's good conversation. Guys, if there's anything I can do for you, don't hesitate to ask.
Definitely. I definitely will. I got you now.
All right. Duty first.
Duty first. Misfit Nation, thanks for hanging out tonight. This was a great episode. Great catching up. It's almost like a reunion. It's the kind of things we like to do on the Misfit Nation. Keep it real. Keep it family-like. Like Colonel Connor said, if you're feeling down, if you have the PTSD in your head, a day tomorrow is better with you than it is without you. Reach out for help. Dial 988. Take option 1. Let them help you. Don't think you know all the answers. Don't think you have to go alone. If you don't want to talk to them, phone someone in your inner circle. They'll get you help. If not them, contact me. info@themisfitnation.com, Steven@themisfitnation.com, or Jake@themisfitnation.com. Get the help you need so you're here tomorrow. Until next time, be humble, stay hungry.
See you, Rich.
Have a good night.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are
Misfit Nation.